So this is how you fill in the blanks for all of these. First, you gotta change this x and y to e and d. For some reason, I put x and y. I don't know why. I really do not. So it should be e and d. Now, these are mid-segments. Once again, I need to label these more. So, what we know about mid-segments is one, they're half of what this is. Two is we know that the angles do not change from the base to the mid-segment. So angle E would be congruent to this one down here. So this would have to be 36. This one would have to be 54. Now the measurement of ED is half of whatever this is. So that's going to be 10. Now, to find this part, we need to know that 1/2 base times height is our area formula for a triangle. So what we need to do is we need to find the height of this smaller triangle, because we've already got the base. We know the base is 10, so we're going to take 1/2, 10. We got to figure out the height. The height, which is 14, I mean, it's half, so it's going to have to be 7. So if you take 1/2, 10 times 7, you end up with 35. Second one, same idea. Angle F is going to be 59, because that's what it is right here. 59, 59. So it'll be 62, 62. MA, now this is trying to trick you because it's telling you to find this little part right here. We know this whole thing is 10. Okay, we know that the mid-segment is half, but what also is half is, since this is technically the midpoint of this line, these are 2 halves. So if this whole thing is 10, this would be 5, and this would be 5, because 5 plus 5 gives you 10 as the whole. So MA is technically 5. That doesn't really help us with the next part, but it's just to show that everything is a different measurement. So FA is half of this thing. Okay, so that means that half of 21 is going to be 11.5. So we're going to take 1/2, 11.5. We're going to multiply it by the height, which is 12, but half of it is 6. So we know the height is 6. You know this part is 11.5. Not 11. 10.5, sorry. 10.5 times 6 will give us 31.5. And that should be your answer. And this next one's a little bit trickier because once again we're dealing with trapezoids. Trapezoids are always a little bit trickier. This area formula is 1/2 height times base 1 plus base 2. What we know about y is it's the same thing as up here. Okay, base angles are congruent to these. So base angle is congruent to this. So we know angle y is 64. You know angle B is 58. Okay, YB is going to be half of whatever this is. Or not half, sorry. YB is, remember, mid-segment formula is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2. So since we know base 1 is 22, so we know 1/2, 22 plus 18. If you put that in your calculator, you should end up with 20. Because 22 plus 18 is 40. Half of that is 20. And so now to find the area of the smaller one, so we want this smaller one, we first need to know what the height is. The height is always half of the actual object, so if this is 10, this will be 5. So we can put the height as 5 right here. And then you can multiply base 1, which is 20. We just figured that out because it's a new base 1, because it's a new trapezoid. 20 plus 18. And what you end up with is 95. Last but not least, measurement of D and L. So D and L, to figure out D and L, remember that these two, alright, should add up to 180. So this should be 180 minus 37. So 180 minus 37 is 143. This should be 180 minus 42, which would be 138. 142 and 138. Measurement of EM is once again still, it's just 1/2 15 plus 25. So this should just be 20. Okay, I'm not going to do the whole thing. Just know it's 1/2 the bases added together. Last but not least, the area. It's going to be 1/2. The height, which is half, which is going to be 7. It's going to be 15 plus 20. So it's going to be 1/2 7. Just remember it's half the height, which was 7. 15, which is this base. 20, which is this base, because we just figured that one out in the last part. Times 35. When we do that, we get 122.5. And that is the review.